Albert Camus was a mid-20th century French-Algerian philosopher who wrote mostly stories extensively covering his ideas on the world, man, love, and most importantly, black coffee and cigarettes. By far, his most famous work is The Stranger, which goes into depth about what man looks like or should look like in his worldview. However, his analysis on man as a whole, what he has become and why, is done so in his book The Fall. The Fall is notoriously known as Camus' most difficult book, and also the most unclear. People have drawn different meanings about the book and what it's trying to say, which, although they all make sense, I'm here to give my opinion. You, the reader, are in a bar in Amsterdam, and this random guy sits next to you and orders a drink. The first thing he says to you is his views on humanity, followed by calling the bartender an ape, and that Amsterdam is full of silhouettes. Jean-Baptiste Clements is his name, and he loves to talk. He refers to himself as a judge penitent, or a judge who is repenting for his sins. He finds the need to profess his innocence to you, that he is in fact a good person who even helped orphans and widows. He takes pride in all of the good things that he has done and experienced, and remembers these as laughter. Later he talks about a particular laugh he heard, which he remembers it was the cries of a woman drowning, whom he ignored. Jean is also kind of a misogynist. He views women as objects to conquer because it's a mark of success in life. Jean tells us about the time he was walking home one night and doing nothing as a woman threw herself off a bridge, which later the event haunted him. And that's kind of how the story goes. It's really just a back and forth of you being at the bar and John telling you about himself. Jean referring to himself as a judge penitent is kind of ironic because a penitent is one who repents for their sins and seeks forgiveness from God by performing symbolic actions. But Jean believes there is no God and that the masters of the world fill the role of God by oppressing people, which he believes is a good thing. Jean is supposed to represent man as a whole, and the fall basically incriminates all of humanity. The point is to show that we all judge one another, but seek to avoid judgment by any means necessary. Our disdain for Jean then amounts to our disdain for our own hypocritical, selfish natures, and his complete lack of a solution to the problem of universal guilt and judgment reflects ourselves. When Jean misremembers that lady's cries as laughter, it's important in understanding his spiral into sin. He believes she was laughing at him, and he projects this laughter onto his friends after the incident traumatizes him. He believes everybody is laughing at him and judging him. This shows the development of man in our pride, thinking that we are great, then realizing what we have done and the consequences of that, which would be the realization and despair over our sin. Over the course of the book, Jean does essentially what we eventually do, one way or another, is confess our sins, or confess what we have done wrong. Jean's lack of solution to the problem of this universal guilt and judgment is a challenge Camus gives to us to basically find a real solution to suffering. And that's pretty much it for The Fall. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This will probably be my last video for a really long time. I ended up getting my first class medical certificate, so that means I get to be an airline pilot one day. Got to go to school for that, so I'm excited for that, but I will keep this channel around as kind of like a diary for the next who knows how long. But anyways, thank you guys for everything,